Hello, Internet, and welcome to a very surprise announcement. I made a reference to this in my Angels of Death review last night. There would be a new announcement for a new series that would start on Wednesday, and that series is, of all things, IDW Publishing's new run of the Sonic the Hedgehog comics. I started reading them almost as just a few days ago. I was just like, oh, I wonder if it's any good, and I started reading it, and it's really good. I have not played a Sonic game since, Generations, and so there are a few things that are, a little on the, iffy side, but I had read, the early chapters of the Archie comics way back when I was in, middle school, but never been able to catch up, but now with IDW starting over, I'd actually kind of wanted to get in from the get-go, but I was kind of scared away by the fact that it is, a sequel to Forces, which I haven't played. But I tried reading it. It's not... There are some things I'm not entirely sure what they're I didn't know what a Wispon was because I figured it was about Wisps because Sonic Colors is my favorite Sonic game. So I love the Wisps. But Wispons were new to me. There are things every now and then that are new to me. But all in all, it's been a really good 9 issues so far. So yeah, we'll be starting up with Battle for Angel Island Part 2, which comes out on Wednesday, the 31st, Halloween, yay. That'll be really fun. Where we left off, I'm just going to talk for a little bit about what I really like about the series so far, and it does this really great job of, it's always, bright and colorful, and, it's Sonic, it's not, grim, dark, and depressing. This isn't Sonic 06 or anything, but, it reminds you that this is a world that, was at war for 6 months, surprisingly well. There are things all the citizens of the villages all, have, plans in place for when, badniks come by to attack. There's, this scene in issue 3 when, Sonic and Knuckles jump into the village that, Rough and Tumble have taken over, and everyone, dives into, their houses because Knuckles assumes it's because they're predicting a badnik attack. And it's little, touches like that really remind you this is a world that's been through a war. And it does it without leaning into this, grimdark sensibility that I love to rat about. Speaking of grimdark sensibility, of course, my Goblin Slayer review will be up later today. That's not important. But yeah. Other than that, we have, another great thing. I love the Mr. Tinker reveal. Good amnesiac Eggman is a fascinating thing to me, and I imagine he'll get his memories back eventually. There are already, little hints that he might be, slowly getting his memories back when he named his, theme park Eggman Land, and all the rides are shaped like badniks. I think eventually he'll become, Dr. Eggman whenever they need to adapt the new Sonic game. But yeah, I think that won't be for a while. And honestly, I'm really... we eventually, found out in issue 7 that Neo Metal Sonic is the one who's been pretending to be Eggman for the past 6 issues. And I really, really want a scene where Neo Metal Sonic finds Mr. Tinker. And he's like, Doctor, here's your empire. And Tinker's like, nah, fuck that shit. But yeah, other than that, we left off. Sonic and Knuckles had found Neo Metal Sonic, who becomes the incredibly frustratingly named Super Neo Metal Sonic. I'm hoping that long-ass name does not stick around for too long. But I'm just really excited to see where we go from here. It's been a surprisingly well-written run. I was not, the character interactions are all, on point. Especially, this is gonna be me, if you don't want to watch me ramble on for the next few minutes, just leave the video now. I'm just gonna be rambling on about a few points I really like. Especially just the character interactions, especially between Sonic and Amy, are really well written. We have when I grew up, it was always just Sonic running away from Amy and Amy just doggedly pursuing him. But there's a genuine respect between them in the IDW comics that I really love. Amy is still, of course, in love with Sonic as she always has been, but she also respects him. She's not forcing him to come back to the Resistance. She acknowledges he is this free spirit and he needs to run around and save badnik villages from badniks. And it just works really well. Also, she declines to come with Sonic, knowing her work with the Resistance is more important than her feelings for Sonic. It's really good writing. It's the series is really good, and I highly recommend it. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. I will see you all on Wednesday for this series to take off with Battle for Angel Island Part 2. But until then, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you've been enjoying the comics so far and this video. If you did, feel free to drop me a like, subscribe, or do whatever the fuck you want. I don't really care. And as always, people, keep kicking ass, and I'll see you in the future. Bye!